The final ingredients are coaching and culture. So for success, teaching customer-facing managers to be coaches is important. Coaching is a key ingredient and can take many forms inside of your organization. Many sales managers today have been promoted to that sales manager because they've been good at sales, not because they can coach. Customer success people have been promoted based on success with a particular customer. That senior team often want to duplicate that success with other customers. But here's the thing. It's hard to become a great manager, and particularly in the customer-facing teams. Customers are demanding, let's face it. One of the hardest things to overcome when becoming a new manager is the knowledge and understanding that each person you manage is an individual and they need support, they need pushing, and they need information in different ways. Most importantly, different from you as that new manager. All managers need to become chameleons, if you will. You need to be able to change your approach to reflect that person in front of you. All managers should set aside time with each of their employees that they manage to go through this process, to understand each other, to communicate and coach effectively. Next, it's important to teach salespeople to coach their teammates rather than tell. So in this case, young sellers are often paired with young inside sales or business development counterparts and are encouraged to set up their own strategies as if it were their own small business, which is great. However, the salesperson often sticks to telling their inside sales team member what to do, and tension then rises. I've seen a lot of good salespeople unable to set the direction that the team can effectively work together, and then people quit. So what you can do is to set some simple guidelines to manage the conversation between them that has each a voice and they have the platform to share their ideas effectively. Then the team themselves will become more than the sum of their parts. Many tech companies have failed to embrace diversity as well. There are many studies available, from the Deloitte Josh Bersin study to Altify, the Chief Revenue Officer 2019 study on sales effectiveness. All show that increased diversity has a direct correlation on a team's success. Whether in sales, as different teammates think differently and bring their different ideas and strategies to the table, that can help deliver higher quality customer experiences. Or in a customer success environment, where being able to relate to the diversity seen in your customers can be an important differentiator in that customer experience. Recognizing that and bringing a diverse team to support customers is essential for growth of the customer and of your team members themselves. When you hire for diversity though, you need to ensure that your managers can recognize diversity as a strength within a team. In sales, we do see more women in technology than even 5 years ago, say. However, there's still a lot of work to be done there. From a background standpoint, many are being stereotyped in particular roles. For example, maybe Asians are good at programming is a perception, so they'd be better in product development. A stereotype like this one and others will hurt your company's ability to grow, both from a staff standpoint and from a revenue standpoint. Instead, as a new manager, or as a manager even, you can start by looking at your teams as a whole. What are the individuals like? What are their backgrounds? How do you like to strategize with your team? What are you missing that will evolve that team discussion to a higher level? Begin to look at how the team dynamics can help and hurt progress. Then add some inclusive interview questions so that you can hire for behaviors and experiences that will add a new dimension to your team. Even if you're interviewing young, less experienced team members, you can ask them questions like, How have you solved a tough challenge in your hobbies or activities in your spare time? It doesn't have to be business focused. You can ask them to share an example of when they brought an idea to a group or to a person that helped to change a situation or to think differently. Ask them, how did they approach a difficult conversation with a friend, say, when they had to deliver bad news or news that they knew their friend wouldn't like. There are a number of techniques to hire for and manage diversity. Learning to do so will bring success to your teams from a development standpoint and a revenue standpoint. So with many millennials leaving sales and customer success due to a lack of fulfillment and high pressure, create a fulfilling environment so that people grow and learn. It's not a nice to have, it's a must have. It will directly improve and impact everybody. Create an environment that your managers can coach and teach in small doses so they're learning and continuously improving. If you set this as a key part of your team and company culture, it's going to pay back dividends. Let me give you one example of how bringing the teams together across your revenue engine can really help. It's around brainstorming on a customer account, so that you can bring sales, business development, customer success, product marketing, security, sales enablement, consulting teams, bring all of them together, a member from each, not all of them, of course. If they have a strategic partner at that particular account, include that partner too. They're a key part of your strategy, whether you like it or not. Ignoring partners as part of a strategy is something that many salespeople make that mistake around, become apprehensive about, but it is important to include them. Then you know they can align with the strategy that you are proposing to that customer. At Huerdo, as part of our revenue engine practice, we like to use the hub and spoke technique to bring ideas from the team members that you've brought together and how they can directly impact the revenue and success of that customer. I'll give you some examples of that here in this video. Try something similar with your team. In sales and customer success, you can also use a modified version of the business model canvas with your teams to build business acumen. We like to use a simplified version because it supports a key understanding of that customer. And it's an excellent tool for all the revenue teams to align around. Customer success can use this canvas approach in support of their collaboration sessions with a customer directly. Understanding that customer's business in more detail and that customer's upcoming needs and challenges are in their business, that needs to go into the business model canvas. It provides insight on how to improve customer retention and possible sales expansion. In sales, that modified business model canvas can be used to strategize on how to approach different parts of a current customer's business with a new or revised value proposition. It increases the understanding and business language needed to address the different parts of their business and ultimately how you can address that with your technology. In marketing, it's a useful tool when focusing on account-based marketing to drive closer customer relationships and value. It can also become a basis of new marketing content and strategies that can be delivered to the broader market. Sales awareness. Customer success teams, along with marketing and product, and the back office teams can benefit hugely from sales awareness training. Here's a client example. When working with a product marketing team on a new product launch that they were putting together as a key part of their go-to-market strategy, the new sales presentations that varied from depth of technology from level 1 to level 3 being the more complex, were very long. The product marketing team had a list of some amazing results from early adopters as customers, beta test customers, so there was clear value. From a sales perspective, the sales teams had previously rewritten all the product marketing decks from new launches to make them more customer friendly in their opinion. It's a common challenge that can cause large issues between sales and marketing teams. Sales felt that even though the product marketing presentation was 50 pages for a level 1, did not contain all the content an initial discussion would need with a prospect, and of course contained too much detail on other aspects that were not necessarily going to be in that first conversation. Working with product marketing, we help them to rework the format of the deck into something that we've used many times called the Top Value Drivers Deck. It contains those key ingredients of what it is, why I should care, what's in it for me, and the benefits to that customer. Also, who else has benefited and what business drivers can this new technology support, and where does it fit in from an industry perspective? We helped summarize that 50-page deck into 10 pages that delivered a strong message, and one that sales did not spend time recreating off-brand, as often is the case. From there, the more detailed decks were much easier to create, despite increasing the technical information shared within them. Decks like the Top Value decks are also great tools for external partners. Your partners need to be able to understand the same value and be able to add their own unique value into that value proposition. Without this, you can get major misalignments and mistrust between the sales and the partner teams. So let's talk about hiring. Hiring can be a major challenge, but if you can incorporate some of what we've been talking about, you'll find that even in times of low employment levels, you'll be able to attract and keep great staff who are passionate about your company, technology, and what they can do as a team for their customers. Hiring, even when you've achieved a great culture, is still very important. It can die easily. The key is to hire people who are coachable and ensure that you are asking questions that uncover the coachability of the team member that you are hiring for during that interview process. So some examples that you can implement are listening skills and flexibility. People who are coachable pick up on the subtlety of a conversation and recognize verbal cues. During an interview, they can adjust when the topic moves in a new direction, and they can be more flexible without having to be told. So ask some questions around that. Also ask questions looking for humility. Humility requires an open heart, an acceptance that we can't do everything on our own. So ask questions to test for that. Test also for self-awareness. Coachable people can look honestly at themselves and see where they need to grow and improve. You can ask questions about their experiences in their professional and personal life that will demonstrate self-awareness. You also want to ask questions to make sure they're action-orientated. Ask and listen for examples of how interviews have taken action when faced maybe with a challenge or opportunity. Building and supporting coachability throughout your organization will reap huge dividends for you and your revenue. And it will be continuously delivering great customer experiences for the future, which your customers will love. By adopting the revenue engine approach, we've helped organizations reach new revenue goals in this way. We've coached teams to work more effectively together to increase customer transaction sizes by over 250%. We've enabled sales teams to set a new bar by achieving the largest deals in their company history. We've worked with global sales support teams to decrease time to close customer transactions by over 200%. And we've enabled customer success to improve their working relationship with sales to support and increase cross-sell and upsell opportunities of over 40%. This approach can potentially work for you too. If you have any questions on this video or how you can implement some of these techniques in your organization, contact us at therevenge.com. We look forward to being able to help you to add that resilience into your own revenue engine from lead to renewal. You can also call me directly on our free phone number and contact me by email, chris_fletcher@huerdo.com.